Okay, everybody, this is Dave. I'm going to walk you through Caddy Whackers, sort of competitive golf-based Rocket League-esque game. Let's jump in and I'll just start talking. So the idea here is you have your little character. It's just a simple little rag doll. He's got just a club that sticks out. And right now we just kind of have basic ragdoll animations. Doesn't really do much except swing. That's about it. I don't know if we're going to do more than that, but at least for this alpha version, it's just going to be a silly ragdoll. The idea here is there's going to be 2 pucks, and then they each represent the goals. And I'm going to hold down on the mouse button, as you can see on top of the club. There's a little bit of a sparkle, and this powers up and reaches a sort of maximum. And you see the little sparkles appear. You know you've reached, the maximum throw ability. And the idea is pretty simple. In that Rocket League kind of way, you're just trying to get the ball into the goal. If it can do that in this video, that would be awesome. But the inspiration with this actually came from my brother. He used to work at a country club, and sometimes after hours they would get drunk. That's why you see beer bottles over there. But they would get drunk and take the carts out and take the whatever shitty broken clubs they could find and just basically play polo with golf carts. Like them and one other person, they would just start swinging around, and became like a thing. And as a kid, I kind of, like it was probably like 10 or 11 when told me this story. And I'm fascinated with the notion of grabbing a golf cart and taking a ball and just going to town with my friends. And oh my God, can I get a ball in the? There we go. And then see, it sort of just teleports back to the center and starts over again. And for the alpha, I think this is invulnerable for at least a minute, and then eventually it'll blink or have a little cursor on top of it, and then you'll score, or you can start swinging out again. And add some little sparkle when the ball reaches a sort of maximum speed or maximum angle. It'll sparkle like that, so you know that it's gonna go far. Sort of like just a little easy way of like letting the players know, sort of being able to predict, how far something's gonna go. Like the tail itself is enough for most occasions, but also so the players know how well they're doing. I like that sort of like that bare minimum amount of communication tells you how well you're doing and all that. For the future, eventually, and right now it's just just swinging a golf club, but I'd like to have it be a little bit more than that, because I want it to be almost like a jousting kind of Knights of the Round Table, but with golf. Like basically like the inmates take over the asylum in a way. These caddies run this park, and so they turn it into this whole, medieval times kind of golf park. And I guess we'll have a version where you can pick up a passenger in the car, and you'll have a little jousting stick, and you can, compete with your friends that way. Or maybe like in a Mario Kart kind of way, you're running around and you'll pick up a different club, or you just pick up a mace or something, and you just, you can scroll wheel, or, kind of like Doom, you just roll over it, over a power up, and you just get a different club and it does different things. Kind of the idea. I think that would be fun too, because the way this character is rigged, he's just a ragdoll, and I could just have have him get ejected and have to crawl back, and kind of like, instead of getting thrown out of the world like you would in Mario Kart, you would just get thrown out of your cart, and you would automatically just crawl back to it, and then you can play again. But that's definitely something for the future. yeah, so like I like the idea of Rocket League, but there's just a little bit more of an aim, a little bit more of like a turret system to it, which is a little more interesting than just whacking it with a car. And you know, I love this all-terrain. I just love the idea of the all-terrain four-wheel drive on a little golf cart. You know, this is basically just like a souped-up version of like a four-wheel drive car. You know, with the center of mass like super low to the ground, with a horsepower output you would never see in an actual car. This is like a supersized version of that, but you know, it's kind of worked out perfectly because it just feels like a golf cart on steroids, which is what I want it to kind of feel like too. You know, just have fun. And you know, I think one of the other things we want to have is the ability to have speed boosts along these walls. So like if you want to get to the other side fast, you know, the downside is you have to go to the edge of the arena, and you know, like on this blue area, if you're on this terrain, you know, your max speed would be increased by some degree, and that's something we can look towards. And then obviously, like, collision's turned off right now because I'm still sorting out all of the physics layers for all of the bonus and power up stuff. But eventually you'll just break those as you move along, and they'll just disappear and give you something, you know, give you just automatic, you know, power-ups like this would just, you know, stay on for like 60 seconds or something, so every swing you do. And I think for the alpha, it's just going to be 4 players max, so it'll be just team red versus team blue, 2 players on each side. And then if that works, you know, if the stress testing goes okay, we'll add more players from there. And you know, like, the size of this map is just, I just wanted to, you know, see what was doable, you know, what will break the game. I don't know any of those things yet. I mean, this is kind of just trying to get it working. And, you know, I want it to be easy, you know, but I don't want it to be too easy. You know, if there's other players knocking this ball around, it shouldn't be too hard, but it also shouldn't be too easy. I want, you know, there to be some sort of challenge. And the way the cursor obviously is the center, but as you can see, it's sort of offset, you know, kind of like this area right in between the club and the driver. There's sort of like this middle point, and this is just a collider box that's moving around, rotating on this axis, and creates a small explosion, this sphere explosion, and it mimics kind of the idea of, you know, the impact of a swing. Instead of actually physically moving the club, you're just sort of creating this tiny invisible explosion. That's what's causing the motion. So that's just like something pre-built in Unity. But, you know, for all intents and purposes, it does exactly what I want it to do in a very like neat and efficient package. You know, like this is running very smoothly, and you could run this on almost any machine. And that's kind of the idea. You know, I wanted to be able to play this on my laptop so I can test with, you know, multiplayers, just to see how it goes. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.